Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the Vampire Diaries, episode 716, titled Days of Future Past, which premiered Friday, April 1st, 2016 on the CW. This is the episode that was directed by Ian Somerhalder, so let's get right into it, guys. Sorry for the delay for posting this, but 10-minute clock, and let's go. So, something new we learned in this episode. So, in this episode, we are still the 3 years in the future type thing. So, we do get flashbacks, so between those 3 years when Damon was in his coffin desiccated. We see a flashback shortly after Damon desiccated himself between Stefan and Valerie, and she convinces him to go on a trip around the world and make it fun while he's trying to figure out a way to get rid of the Phoenix mark on him. We see another flashback that is a year from then, where Stefan and Valerie are in the Philippines looking for clues to about the Phoenix mark. This is also where we see the start of Stefan and Valerie in a relationship together, as this flashback features their first kiss in so long, I guess you could say. And then the third flashback period is just before Damon decides to just before Stefan decides to wake Damon up from his coffin. It's the moment where the Phoenix mark is reopened again. And that's when he decides not to call Caroline, not to call Valerie, but he goes straight to Damon to get his help. So there's that. So the topic of the episode, So the topic of the episode is still Reina Cruz. So we learn that there is a mystical connection between Reina Cruz and all of her targets that have the Phoenix mark. She sees what they see, and she feels what they feel. So during Stefan's travels with Valerie trying to find a way to get rid of the Phoenix mark, Reina was locked up in the armory. She could see where Stefan was going. She could see what he was feeling, or she could see what he was seeing and feel what he was feeling. So that also helps her track down her victims, because she just has to see through their eyes to know where exactly they are or where they're going. So there's that. We also learned that there are voices from the Phoenix Stone inside Reina Cruz's head, so which messes her up even more from the looks of it. We also find out that Reina's blood is poisonous to witches. It takes away their power temporarily, and it blocks them from all tracking spells. The Armory used her blood to create these blood pills, I'm going to call them, and to experiment on them. They've been using Mary Louise for the past 3 years, and she's been poisoned by these pills constantly. We also get the impression that Bonnie has also been on these blood pills, because apparently Enzo had stolen a bunch of them from the Armory, but he doesn't directly say who they're for, even though in a flashback segment of him and Bonnie, we learn of their relationship. So it's very safe to say, or I'm assuming, that it's Bonnie that Enzo stole the pills for. So when he finds out that there's no antidote for these poison blood pills, you can see the panic in his eyes, and the fact that he could be inadvertently killing Bonnie because of these pills. Although I think he took them to help hide her from the looks of it. Okay, so also we bring up that transfer spell. In the promo, we see the transfer spell that Damon is offering for Stefan, so that Reina can have the mark on Damon, so she could trap him in the stone and just leave Stefan out of it. Damon was going to take it, but then Reina points out to Damon that if he does take the mark, then he loses everything, because since this is Reina's last life, when she dies, and if everything goes well and she lives out a long life, then she's going to die in 60 years from now, and Damon will die with her if he takes the Phoenix mark. If that's the case, 60 years from now, Elena is supposed to be waking up from her sleeping curse, assuming that Bonnie lives out her long life. So essentially, when Reina dies, Damon dies, and Elena's going to wake up. So because of this, Damon's rethinking everything, and he refuses to take the mark because of this. He wants to find another way. We also learn that Damon confronts Valerie about knowing about this transfer spell. And she does confess, saying, but the only way it would work is between blood relatives, and she didn't want to bring Damon back into Stefan's life when Stefan was finally happy with living out his own life. Anyways, very close timing and crazy reactions, but Valerie does the transfer spell too late on Damon, and Reina stabs Stefan just as they were still doing the transfer spell. So Stefan is back in the Phoenix Stone. After all this happens, Reina targets herself on Mary Louise and Nora, who just happened to, hold on, Okay, they just happen to be in the same area that Reyna and Stefan were. So now Reyna has zoned in her focus on them. So she throws her Phoenix sword at the couple and she manages to scratch Nora with the sword. Therefore, she's marked now too. Don't know how that makes it different from the mark that Stefan got on his chest, but now Reyna can see through Nora's eyes. Because of this, Mary Louise doesn't want Nora to live out the rest of her life on the run from Reyna. So, with little strength she has left, she decides to pool her powers and destroy the Phoenix Stone, so at least Nora won't be trapped inside. Because Mary Louise is pretty much going to exhaust herself to death, Nora adds her power as well, pretty much sacrificing herself because life without Mary Louise is not a life at all for her. So with their combined powers, Phoenix Stone is destroyed as well as themselves in the process, and I swear that moment between them, it reminded me of the movie Thelma and Louise. If anyone's familiar with it, I hope you are, but that's what it reminded me of for sure. But moving on from that fact, so in this episode we find out who actually released Reyna Cruz from the armory. Alex from the armory thinks it was Enzo. It's why she wants to track him down and kill him or punish him for that. But Enzo is the one who knows that it was Matt who did it, and Matt actually confirmed that he did release Reyna Cruz. And he did it as payback on Stefan because of Penny's death. Penny is the girlfriend that Matt lost. We see her grave at the end, and it was Penny, the officer, that we were first introduced in the first portion of the season. So what was the most shocking moment in the episode? I definitely think, for me, it's the destruction of the Phoenix Stone. I didn't think it was possible that they can destroy the stone, but I guess no one really thought of it because in doing so it meant pulling in so much power that you'd have to kill yourself too. Plus, I would think that because of the power that the two heretics had on their own, and the fact that they needed two of them to destroy the Phoenix Stone, a regular witch wouldn't be able to do it from the looks of it. Or you'd have to take a whole lot of regular witches to pull together and want to sacrifice themselves to destroy the stone, which would be hard enough considering they want to get rid of vampires and such like that. So there's that. So moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be Stefan missing Damon and Damon's urgency to save Stefan. So basically this one is the brotherhood or the brother relationship between Stefan and Damon. We see through the flashbacks of the 3 years when Damon was incapacitated, we see Stefan missing Damon, missing the idea of his brother not being there. The fact that when his brother does wake up to reunite with Elena, then Stefan essentially is going to be dead because Reyna would be dead. So it's just a whole bunch of little things like that. And then when Damon actually comes to the realization that Stefan is truly in immediate danger, there's no time for another plan. He truly has to save him. His urgency to take that transfer spell and use it on himself was very evident in the fact that he really was willing, when it really came down to it, to the bottom line, Damon was willing to sacrifice himself to save Stefan, or to at least get the danger off of Stefan for the time being. Although it wasn't fast enough, at least the emotion is what I liked about it, between that. Another favorite moment for me has to be the Philippines flashback for Stefan and Valerie. It was just great to see them being carefree together, to see them traveling the world together, and then just to see that moment where they first made that real connection together and took that next step in being a couple, kissing under the stars on the beach and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. It's very romantic. Although that's now plagued due to another issue I'll deal with later. But another favorite moment has to be for me Enzo's fear when he found out that those blood pills meant to disable witches and hide them from any tracking spells. Those blood pills created from Reyna's blood are actually poison to witches. And Enzo's fear, I really like that because it really shows that not only did he give it to a witch, but he gave it to a witch he really cared for, and now he fears the fact that he could have inadvertently killed her because of it if there's no cure. So, I'm assuming it's Bonnie, based off the first flash forward that we saw of them in the first half of the season, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a confirmation about that, but hopefully soon. So top 3 peeved moments. First one is that Valerie knew about the transfer spell possibility and yet never told Stefan in the 3 years they were on the run looking for answers. It gave off the clingy girlfriend title for her because of that. Even before she was officially his girlfriend, I mean, like, she was meant to help him, and she kept that one little bit away from him and caused him to be on the run with her for the 3 years. It was a selfish move on her part. After finding out about that, it kind of tainted all the flashbacks they had together in the Philippines and all their good moments together. So it's like, Valerie, that's not a good move. That was a very selfish move for her, and you've jeopardized Stefan's life, since having that mark meant he had a deadline, essentially, which, well, I guess Stefan said it kind of reminded him of being human, but that's besides the point. So another peed moment for me, though, was that it was a little disorienting for me with the constant flips between the past and the present, when previously in the first half of the season, we would just have the first and last scenes of the episode being the flash forward scenes, or in the past when they've done flashback scenes, there's always a different color tint to the scene. In this episode, I didn't really notice any difference like that, like no filters, no color tinting of any kind. So like if I missed that brief little title card at the bottom that said 2 months, a year, whatever long from now, or the now title card, I would have not have known that it was meant to be a different time and stuff like that. So it was just a little disorienting, because we were used to the setup for 15 episodes already, and then to have it switch on us like this, it was a little weird for me. So what I remember most when I look back on this episode, first off, Stefan getting trapped in the Phoenix Stone again, and then having Mary Louise and Nora, dying while in the process of destroying that Phoenix Stone. That is what I remember most, for sure. And random questions based off of that. If Stefan's soul was trapped in the Phoenix Stone when it was destroyed, does that mean we need another way to save him, or is that it for Stefan? Is his soul truly lost? It's definitely going to make things trickier for him, for sure. And there's that. Next question, or last question. With the Phoenix Stone destroyed, does that mean that Reina is just a normal human again? Does she have any of those enhanced qualities of herself that came with the Phoenix Stone? Or is she just your average human again? I hope so, because it would be kind of interesting to see how she adjusts to not having that mystical calling she had because of the Phoenix Stone. So that'd be interesting. But moving on to predictions very quickly, based off the promo for 7/17, we see someone else in Stefan's body. So we get to see Paul Wesley playing a different character, while everyone else is assuming that it's supposed to be Stefan or something like that. It's going to remind me of the whole travelers turning into passengers and being in someone else's body type thing, like Catherine did with Elena back in season 5. So that right there is reminding me of that. But I guess we'll get to see what Paul Wesley's spin on the whole thing is going to be. And based off the synopsis, though, the episode is going to be directed by Julie Plec, and it reads that Stefan is fighting for his life, and that Reina comes across a new threat, and a whole bunch of people are going to try to figure out how to get Stefan back, since I'm not sure if they know if the stone is destroyed or not. So there's that. Overall predictions, though, it's definitely going to be a difficult rescue mission for Stefan without the Phoenix Stone actually whole or present, or a viable source of, I don't know. It's definitely going to be hard now that it's destroyed to get him back. Also, it's possible that Enzo is going to rush to find an antidote for Bonnie from those blood pills. It's either he's going to rush to find time, or he's going to have to figure out a way to reverse the effects or something like that. And we got to figure out why he put her on those pills to begin with, too. Unless he was using those pills so that he can hide her better from the armory, so that tracking couldn't find her and anything like that. So, who knows about that, though. But, also, guys, a bit of news that I just stumbled upon on the internet when I was searching up the Season 7 episode list. So, as of April 5th, I found an article that Kat Graham, aka Bonnie Bennett, she revealed that Season 8 will be her last season with the show. So, with that said, during the hiatus, the CW renewed Vampire Diaries for another season, so Season 8. So if we do get a Season 9, that means Kat Graham isn't going to be a part of it. But what do you guys think about the news? Does it sway you any which way of what could happen? Let me know in the comments below for sure. And that's about it, guys. So again, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you like about it? Do you like this whole huge time jump thing that we had to deal with? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want a more detailed recap of the episode, check out my live journal account. The link for that will be down in the description box below. That is more of a play-by-play of what happened in the episode, as well as my in-the-moment thoughts as I watched the episode for the very first time. At the very moment, that is a little behind, so you might have to wait a few days to actually see it become public. I have to edit it formatting-wise, not content-wise, so just check that out in a few days. Also, if you want more news about Vampire Diaries, promos, sneak peeks, web clips, quotes, GIFs, dialogue quotes, anything like that, check out my Tumblr page. Link for those are down below. You got 2 links, one for the episode specifically, and one for the master page that will give you all the tags related to the Vampire Diaries and the originals fandom. So if you click that one, all Vampire Diaries tags are at the top of the page. There's that. I'm also behind on updating that too. I'm trying to get everything caught up as quickly as I can, since everything else that was happening in my real life has finally toned down. So just give me some time and your patience. Truly appreciate it. Also, thank you guys for tuning in for this video. I really appreciate it. So sorry for the delay. Again, trying my best to get right on track. But with that said, I hope you tune in next week to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, this is Mel wishing you a great day, great week, wherever you are. Till then, bye for now.